Hello, welcome, and good morning to Storytime with Patches. I'm Patches, and this constitutes as shenanigans. But back to Storytime. So, my mother called me last night on a conference call with my stepfather and said, "Hey, I want to know more about guns." I was like, "Cool. What do you want to know?" She's like, "Okay, well, I want to know what an assault rifle is." I was like, "Okay, I could definitely tell you. It's a made-up term made by the liberal left to demonize gun owners and gun ownership." Why do you ask? She's like, well, I was reading, and in light of recent events, I just kind of want to know more about what's going on. I was like, okay, well, what are you confused about? She's like, well, they said that any select fire rifle is an assault rifle. I was like, okay, you mean that going from safe to fire is anything with a safety on it is an assault weapon now? Is that what you're telling me? No. Anything that has select fire and a removable magazine. Again, so I guess everything is an assault weapon now? I'm confused because last time I checked, assault was a law of assaulting another person, and it's an action. So I don't see how a verb and an inanimate object can coincide with each other and effectively create some sort of logical rationale. Doesn't make any sense. It's illogical, and it's just plain stupid. Anyway, so let me educate you on your so-called I would say assault rifle, but I'm just going to call them rifles because I know better. So, your standard AR-15 is a single-shot rifle with a detachable magazine. Guess what? It has 2 positions. An M16 has 3 positions. What's the liberal media trying to make an AR-15, which is the 2 position, safety and fire? They're trying to bridge the gap between an AR-15 and an M16, saying that an AR-15 is essentially an M16 because it has a select fire. Whatever. It don't make any sense. An M16 is a Class 3 item. A Class 3 weapon, mind you. Highly regulated by the ATF. Civilians have to have special licenses and permits to even own them, unless you can find one that was made before 1968, and I hope you have 20 grand lying around at least so that you can purchase said item. So, that being said, here in America, we are limited to semi-automatic firearms. Thanks to Reagan, who was in his attempted assassination in 1981, he was shot with a semi-auto 22 caliber pistol, I believe, and he banned all automatics. These are our politicians for you. These are our people in power that are supposed to protect us, that are looking out for our rights. Let me just say this: if banning guns actually worked, then why am I more likely to get shot in Chicago than Afghanistan? I'm a retired Marine, so I want to know. I'm curious, and I'm not a pogue either. I was actually a grunt. I was a 0331. I carried a 30-pound machine gun, a 240 Bravo. I could tell you more about guns than probably most people will forget. Actually, no. That's backwards. Head trauma's fun. Anyway, there's other places in the world that don't have guns. All of y'all that are crying for, oh, well, no one needs a gun, da-da-da-da-da. Go move to those countries. Go move to the UK, where when they ban guns, violent crime spiked through the roof. And you're more likely now to get hit by a hammer than you are to get shot by a gun because, guns are illegal there. But, violent crime went through the roof astronomically. Australia is the same way. Australia banned guns at the expense, I don't know how many billions of dollars they spent collecting and destroying um, a an arsenal, a mountain of firearms. Now the only people that have guns in Australia are the government and the criminals. And since they banned guns, violent crime, again, it spiked. So there's a direct correlation between banning guns and violent crime increase. But the liberal media is not going to tell you that. Mainstream media, every time that they want to talk about, good example here, every time they want to talk about the economy, who do they bring in? An economist. They want to talk about the military, they bring in a general. Talk about, tactics and strategic whatnots. They want to talk about business, they bring in a business analyst, a business professional. Want to talk about entrepreneurship, you bring in an entrepreneur that's, semi-successful or very successful. But when something goes on with guns, all of a sudden everyone's a subject matter expert. Which is news to me because if everyone was a subject matter expert, we'd probably have less crime and more guns in our country. Mind you, the guns in our country is also the reason why we didn't get invaded during World War II. So keep that in mind when you cry and bitch about the gun population or the amount of guns in the United States, because best believe when you're probably in trouble and you don't carry a gun because you're too much of a pussy to do so, you're going to call someone else with a gun. So now you're just being hypocritical. And no one likes a hypocrite. So I taught you some things. I taught you some things today that you can use, and instead of spouting ignorance and bullshit, as a technical term, because that's, bullshit's a technical term. You can now branch off of this platform that I've given you to go learn and educate yourself about things that you don't know about. If you have any questions, I have a website, patchestactical.com. I'm still trying to put everything together. I'm trying to get 2 degrees and a minor and trying to start a company and shoot a match every weekend. Next weekend, 2 matches. I'm trying to shoot 2 matches per weekend. Hopefully one day. Hopefully soon, actually. Make it a thing. But I'm more than open to talk to people. People want to know about guns? Cool. You want to go shoot? Cool. There's obviously some limitations, but I mean, come on. I'm not Billy Bob from down the block. I'm not, just Joe Schmo. I serve my country. I know what I'm talking about. I mean, and I'm still trying to serve my country by bettering your interests, by keeping y'all safe, and not having your rights erode underneath your feet. Because as soon as you take away guns, I mean, they're saying now, oh well, no one needs a gun. Well, next thing they're going to say is, oh, well, no one needs free speech. And last time I checked, it's not your place to tell me what I need. This isn't communism, and you aren't my boss. So sit on that for a little bit and think about what you did wrong. And stay tuned, because I'm doing some very exciting things here in the future. I'm very happy for all my followers, and I thank you. I thank you for your kind words. Those of you who decide to message me and say, hey, keep up the good work and motivate me to pursue forward. Y'all are my inspiration right now because most days I spend 14 hours working, give or take, between school and company stuff. I don't watch TV. I don't really sit down all that much, and just relax. I mean, so y'all are my heroes. So love you guys and stay tuned.